Alright everyone, how are we? Final race of season 16 tonight, season finale. This week we are in Austria, even mechanical. How are we, pal? Hope we're well, mate. Let me just untangle all my cables. So, season already wrapped up with Rick taking the championship. He did that 2 races ago. Great season from Rick. 1 second, lads. Yeah, ace from Rick, mate. Absolutely fully deserved. P2 at the moment. I think he's Northern Nat. Just double check the standings. That's very close still for P2 and 3 in the championship. We got Fake Scouser just pulling himself ahead of Northern Nat. Just by 5 points there. CDR Luke is just 11 points behind, 12 points behind. So that P2 spot is still up for grabs. Can all change after tonight. Got 2 races to come. Sprint race and the feature. 14 laps, 20 laps for the final time. Who's going to take pole position? Just 3 pole sitters all season. And 4. Northern Nat's just got 1, so we've got Rick on 7. Just Dave, not had one in a while. He's got 4. Glock with just the 1. Northern Nat as well, just with the 1. Evening, Pink Eye. Nice to see you in the chat, mate. Don't usually see you floating around here on a Tuesday. Missing just a couple of drivers tonight. One shot quality as usual. Let's see who's got it in them around Austria this evening. Quite a few decent overtaking opportunities around here. It's one of my favourite tracks, hoping for some action. Sprint race never fails to disappoint in action this season. Absolutely cracking battles all the way through. Features sometimes have a tendency to die out halfway through after the pit stops, but always ends in a nice battle or two at least. Sunshine for the moment. Dry quality. Let's see if we're going to throw any rain at us this evening. Let's get this session underway. Let's see who we're going to be on board with tonight. CDR Luke. Oh, mechanicals saying possibly wet races. Let's jump on board with CDR Luke. Oh, his one and only flying lap this evening. On everyone on the super softs round here, so let's go. Got into turn 3, nice there. It hit the apex where we needed to. Horrible braking zone downhill. Does well to keep it in the lines. Now through the double left-hander. Is it flat out in an F2 car? Bit of a lift there, runs a hell of a lot of curb. Now, take the shortest amount of distance, doesn't cut the right-hand curb too much though. As we come to the second to last corner, throws it in, watch the track limits on the exit. Cut quite a bit of this. Also, track limits can be a nightmare. Keeps it nice and tidy. It's only good enough for P5, though. That was with pole position and 2 disqualifications there. And that was Kane and Nerfpack. So we're taking pole position just under 0.2 of a second from last year's champion Richie. Wookie up there, great qualifying lap from Wookie. Lacked a bit in qualifying this season, but pulled a few race runs out. Harold P4, not a bad run from Harold. Let's have a look at the back rapid. Quite a few disqualifications. Got Nerfpack, Kane, Dan, and Fake Scouser. That's a big blow for Scouser. Rick as well, unable to set a lap time. Is Rick trying to come from the back? Mechanical with his practice puts himself P9. We all know you've been on it all week. Doesn't look like rain up to now. It does look very grey in the sky. It looks like it could have rained. Little bits of something on the track there. Doesn't look like puddles though. So let's see. Looks like dry tyres to start with. I can't really make out. Looks like dries. It's definitely not raining, so if the rain's to come, not bad putting yourself P9 with that lap mechanical. Starts you on the front row for the sprint race. Everyone on the slick tyres, looks like softs for the grid. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got one outlier on the super softs. That is Luckman starting on pole. Thinks he can drag them out a good number of laps. We'll see if he can do that. Just behind mechanical. Weeman Burkett up into starting P3. Max Mario taking P4. Chip Hazard P5. So there's a bit of contact on the formation lap. Not hanging about tonight. Don't know, I thought I seen a bit of a rain speck there, but surely the guys would have been able to see that on the radars. No, it's a weird one, Pink, you're right. We'll soon find out if it's going to come. It's going to throw a spanner into the works. High speed track. Nah, no rain for the time being. Oh, that's mechanical. Going wide. Putman's on pole position now. Waiting for the rest of the grid to form. Mechanical had a bit of a moment there. He's all the way back. Now he's into his spot. Quite a few missing the marks. As Nerfpack at the back pulls up to his grid. So for final time, sprint race here in Austria. And we're off. Lights didn't stay on for long at all. Luckman, a great start so with mechanical. Oh, that is Max up the inside of mechanical. Going to try and go 3 wide to turn 1. Chip swoops round the outside, takes P2. Luckman scampers off into distance. That was Max. Internet crashed from mechanical. Is he still in the race? He still looks like he's in. That is a move by Kane. That is the 2. Oh, it isn't. We've got loads of battles on this opening lap. Harold Oh, Weeman Berkey well overshot the corner, did clip Wookie on the exit of that corner there. Looks like no damage for the time being though. And Wookie holds the position. As we've got Chaos and Rick already up to P11 now. P10 make that, just passes Fake Scouser. Fake Scouser's already up a couple of places as well, up into P11. Mechanical's down 12, that is Mechanical going off on the final corner. Whew, let me get my breath back, jeez. Another four-way battle with Harold, Weeman Burkett holding off Harold, but no Fandango has got Harold on his inside going up towards turn 3. He's going to blast on the brakes. Right, it's Harold, was that a bit of a tap there from the back, couldn't really see from the onboard. Harold is the only other person who is where he started in P7 other than Lutman, who is out in front. Chip hunting him down though, less than 2.5 attempts. Jump on with a battle at the front. Chip, absolutely incredible start, up 3 positions. It's crashed again. Oh, it might be Mechanical out of the race. Technology. It's great until it's not. Chip just dropped down 4 cents now to Lutman in P2. Gonna have DRS this time around. Lutman going to the inside to defend. Fastest lap speed exchange. Wookie kept that with a, didn't see the time unfortunately, but he was the last one to set it. Is anyone going to try and move up into turn 3? I've got Weeman Berkey now dropping all the way back in the order. Just been overtaken by Dan Harold were as Chip goes for the move up into the inside there. Chip does take the lead from Lutman, but Lutman's going to have the inside line. Chip takes the lead from Lutman up into P1 now. That is fantastic move from Chip. Hard on the brakes, Lutman struggling on them super soft, goes a bit wide. Luke's going to be all over the back of this now. And Luke does make the move on Lutman after that poor exit. Let's just allow Chip to pull a bit of a gap now. You know, CDR Luke is mega quick, and as time penalties are starting to rack up now, that is Noah Fandango and Kane. Jump on board with where he is a lot closer to Noah Fandango this time around. Luke closing in on Chip now. Just dragged him in 6 tenths per second as Lutman goes really deep into turn 3. That's cost him position to Max, Mario and Wookie. As we've got Luke now going up the inside of Chip, where Chip took the lead from Lutman last lap around. Side by side, get me off this camera angle, there we go. Chip concedes the place. Luke needs to hang on to the back, he's got Wookie just behind him now. That is Chip going off a bit wide. That's allowed Wookie through. Now he's got Max Mario on his inside. It's just slightly too far back there. Rick up to P10 now. That is Scouser dropping back a couple of positions. Some people struggling out here tonight. Everyone on the soft tyres, of course, other than Lutman, after starting on pole positions, dropped down to P5. Maybe them tyres weren't the right decision. Harold gaining on Lutman up into turn 3. Bit of a tap from Dan behind. There's Constantine up there in the braking zone. is very close to Luke. This corner is proving where you take the lead. That's 3 times in 3 different laps. We've got 3 different race leaders at the moment. Unless that was Wookie, that was Luke taking it back from Wookie there. We've had more race leaders at this moment in time than any race we've had this season by my memory. Argy with Wurt and Dan. Wurt comes out in front. Chips drop down to P3 now. We've got Max Mario on his gearbox hunting for that final podium place. Very quick lap round Austria. Is Wookie going to try anything on Luke? At the moment. Max does make it past Chip though, up into P3. But Dan trying to make his way back up into P6. Got Richie and Rick swapping positions, 2 champions battling it out for P10 and 11. Just 2.5 tenths. That is Max in P3 picking up the time penalty. That is not good news for Max. This will keep gaining on Luke. It started to rain. We have rain. 7 laps to go. People are going to have to. Oh, we'll see. Well, that has only just started. As we've got somebody off on the final corner. That is Dan sideways into the gravel. That was up into turn 1. Rain definitely getting heavier now. Wookie's taking the lead from Luke. Oh, it's getting a bit risky now on the softs. We're making his way past Harold, but Harold gets the position back up the inside. Gets a better exit. Got Rick, Weeman, Burkett all battling it out. Fake Scouts are also in on this battle. That is Rick on his right hand side. He's got Richie just in front of him. Nicely done by the 2 drivers there. Keep it nice. That is terrible angles. He's got Rick up the inside of the second class corner. It's a risky place to try and make a move, especially in wet conditions with dry tyres. It only ends in one outcome. That for Rick, that is big damage. Also Nerf pack, Weeman Burke, so he could have picked up a bit of damage from that. No fault of his own. He's losing his left hand front end plate. As Kane now speeding into the pit lane. We've got a couple of drivers in. Wet tyres going on and a new front wing for Noel Fandangle as Chip now picks up a time penalty. We're going to have to see these people start boxing soon. Let's have a look. So, let's do the pits. Noel Fandangle will be a bit further behind with that wing change. So the guy we're really keeping an eye out for is Chaos now. Let's get the tyres back up for you. 3 different compounds being used at the moment. So we've got Chaos coming into turn 3 now. He is 27 seconds behind Mechanical, who is the last car on the softs. So we'll see how quickly this gap starts to close. Doesn't look too bad from Mechanical's point of view. Track just in a bit of a greasy stage at the moment. We've got Evan. Oh no, we haven't. We've got the first one is Lutman, Richie, Scouser, Berkey and Rick all into the pits. Wookie, Luke, Max, Chip and Harold deciding to stay out for the time being as Rick retires from the session with that damage. So we got Wookie out in front at the moment. Lap 9 of 14. 3.5 tenths on soft tyres on a wet track. Rain joined us around 3 laps ago. It's not too so 3.5 tenths now as we come to the second to last corner. Is Wookie going to decide to box? No, he doesn't. Everyone's staying out. Track mustn't be feeling it just yet. Let's see, what, 20 seconds behind. Gap's not closing in as much as you'd expect. 4 laps to go after this. Got mechanical into the pits now. Front 4 as they were. Let's have a look. Battle on track is Richie and Scouser down in P9. Or it is Woodman, sorry, Richie's chasing down for P7. Mechanical in with a new set of softs going on for him. DRS disabled now, track slightly too wet to get that rear wing open, so that has helped Wookie massively now. Luke and Max, so Chip won't have the rear wing open for the last few laps. About keeping it on track now. 3 laps after this one to go. We're deciding to pit. Wookie holding it out at the front, still on the dry tyres. Gap's not closing as much, and tell you what, Luke, Max and Chip doing well to keep that pace going. Let's have a look at the time penalties. Everyone on 3 other than Chaos with the 10, so that's Kane, Dan, Lutman, Chip and Max, all with 3. Biggest gainer is Nerf. Oh no, it isn't. It is Wookie who is leading the race. He's up 7. Biggest loss at the moment is Mechanical at the back once again. Is that another pit stop for Mechanical? Yes, it is. 7 tenths now as Luke decides to pit. That is a very unusual call from Luke. Thinks the tyres won't be able to hold on. So that has gave Wookie a 1.5 second lead now from Max. I think Wookie might be safe, you know. Doesn't look like he's struggling at all at the moment. Luke must have felt he couldn't have carried on. Dropped down to P5 now after the pit stop. Stretching his lead out is Wookie now, 2.1 seconds. A few gaps now starting to appear with the changeable conditions. Next Gelson's hunting down work for P8, too far back. Chip's dropping back from Max, just around 1.5 seconds, so is Harold. So Luke is 25 seconds behind now. He's got 2 laps and a half, well, 2.5 laps now for 25 seconds. That's a big difference. I don't think that's going to be possible. There we go. Sorry, there we go. 2.4 second lead now. Who can? Rich is still the closest battle on track to Luckman, just in front as Luckman goes wide on the second to last corner. Already carrying a time penalty, so needs to be careful with them. Luke is just 10.9 seconds behind Harold on the wets. Gap's not coming down at all, really. So the front 3 at the moment deciding not to pit, making it look like a wise choice. Very brave. Seen some great moves up into turn 4, or down into turn 4 up the inside. Chip took the lead from Luckman, then Wookie took it from Luckman. And Luckman and Wookie were swapping about. Luke and Luckman were swapping, Luke and Wookie swapping it about. However, Luke decided to pit for the wets. We'll see now, as we've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Who is that? Stopped on track. Back up to racing speed now. Only the one retiree, which is Rick. As Wookie's now started his final lap round Austria for this sprint race. Got another 20 laps to come after this. Chip is catching Max Mario. He wants that P2 spot for himself. Doesn't want to settle for P3. Closest battle on track is this at the moment. We've got Richie still trying to gain on Luckman, unable to do so, but Wookie's coming round the final couple of corners now. Decided not to pit, went with his instincts, stayed on the dry tyres on on a wet track, managed to stick it out though. As Wookie does take the checkered flag, and that is a sprint race win for Wookie. P2 goes to Max Mario. Chip unable to catch him there. He takes the final spot in P3. Harold as well. Still another one yet. Dude didn't pit. He finishes P4. Luke didn't manage to make the progress he would have wanted on them wets. He has to settle for P5. Absolutely cracking drive from the top 4 drivers there. Tricky conditions in these cars, the wets especially on them tyres, so fair play lads, made the right call. Wookie have his moment now. Well done to him, Chip and Max. Mechanical really not happy with his performance in that race. So there we have it. Final sprint results of the season. Wookie taking the win. Just behind him, Max and Chip Hazard. Harold settles for P4. Luke, first one to pit. Well, one of the first ones. He's up into P5. Let's have Mechanical, the only one with a 2-stopper there. And one retiree in Rick. Rick wasn't able to make the inroads he wanted to. Ended up in the barriers. See if the rain is here to last. Now, is it going to start on the wets? We are raining. Wet tyres look like they'll be used tonight. Had a few wet races this season. Be wrong not to end on one as well. So let's have it. We're on pole. Just behind him, last year's champion in Oliver Ritchie. I'm expecting a decent race from you, Ritchie, after starting up there with Wookie after a great sprint race victory. Starts P3, he'll be happy with that. We've got Harold P4, Luke P5, Chip after taking third, he's starting P6. Max Mario after P2 just then, and he's in P7. Burkett Mechanical after a race to forget there in P9. Rounding out the top 10 is Lutman. Just around the final couple of corners on this formation lap, and we'll get this race underway. 20 laps to come now. Nat trying to get all the temper can into them tyres. They're going to be stone cold. Misses his marks there, it's going to set him back slightly. Got quite a few, Kane and Chaos also. So, feature race here in Austria, 20 laps to go. And doesn't keep them for long at all, and away we go. Keeps the lead. That is Harold going up the inside of Wookie to take P3. Does get a bit messy into turn 1. Everyone looks like they've got through it okay as we go up to turn 3 now. We're still in the lead as that is Wookie and Harold side by side. Harold gets through on Wookie. Luke trying to go up the inside of doesn't quite have the pace. Got Chip dropping back now into P8. Terrible start by Chip. He's down 2 places already. That was Dan on Fake Scouser up the inside there. Nice move from Dan. There's the front lots that are coming round now. got Rick and Mechanical battling. Got Fake Scouser just making a move on Dan, he's up into P12. Got Rick and Mechanical now battling for P10. Rick following Soul closer to the back of Mechanical. Is he going to try and make the move now up into turn 1? Just too far behind, it's not the wisest to try and stick a nose up the inside. It's better off to wait now and do it up into turn 3. Try up the inside on Mechanical. Rick tries it but loses the position once again. I think this is the corner it needs to happen at now. Is Rick going to pick a side? Chooses the inside, just a bit too far back from Mechanical. Weeman Burkitt just making a move on Luckman, evening pint size. Pushing Weeman Berkey through. The S is there. Missed a bit of a chaotic sprint race. Pipe size started off on the softs. Rain came around lap 8, so 5 or 6 laps in the rain on the dry tyres for the top 4. Everyone else sided the pit. Wasn't wet enough for the wets, unfortunately, as this is Luckman on Weeman Berkey up into turn 1. Nice and clean by the 2 drivers. Now it's a drag race down to turn 3. Got Fake Scouser just at the back of these 2 as well. Side by side. Luckman up the inside, keeps the does keep the place for a moment, but Weeman Berkey takes that P8 back. Got Harold nearly making a move on Word, does make the move up the inside on Word, seen quite a few overtakes at that corner. Jump on board, please, just to watch the battle in front. Pressure, look, it was all over the back of Wur. That's the issue with these corners, staying tight. No brake lights, of course. It's all feel and guesswork. Nerf pack trying to. Fake Scouser on K, but Fake Scouser's ended up into the grass out of the exit of turn 1. That's dropped him to the back of the grid. Richie now out in front, not really seeing much of the front runners, there's been that much going on. He's got an 8/10 gap out to Harold. His camera angles are mad. Drifting round the corner there is Max. So the battle DRS now enabled. Is it still raining? Looks like it off board, but can't see any rain. Oh yeah, there we go. Everyone's still on the wets, no one pitted as yet. First one, as I say, that is Harold and Mucky. Let's see what they decide to do now. Richie and Luke all decide to stay out. Max, first one with a time penalty. That's unfortunate for Max, as Rick sets the fastest lap of a 22.4. More than half the grid deciding now is the time. Everyone sticking on a set of softs now for 15 laps. Richie out in front by 2.1 seconds now. Just behind him is Were, being put under pressure from CDR. Luke now for that P2 spot, just half a second behind. Still raining slight, looks like it, but it's not on the visors. So are we going to see the front runners in this lap? Yes, we are. We're going to see Richie come into the pits. So is where Luke follows. Max Mario decides to stay out. Is No Fandangle gonna? No Fandangle stays out as well. Just two. What about Rick? Rick's in as well. So just the two drivers, Max and Dan, out in the lead now. Yet to pit. At the back, we've got Kane and Scouser going for the super soft tyres. We'll see how they hold up. Didn't work too well for Luckman in the first race. I think the softs would have been the tyres to choose there. So everyone out of the pits now. Richie is still in front, does go wide into turn 3 though. That will be a track limit warning for him. We've got Wookie and Harold just behind now in next, second and third. Dan decide it's the time to pit. Chip with a 3-second time penalty now as well. DRS is enabled now, so Wookie will have it on Richie. Chip with another 3 seconds now. Rick pits and puts set. He's not. Oh, he didn't change his compound for the pit stop, unfortunately for Rick. So that's another pit for him. And a new front wing while he's at it. That was Richard just taking the lead from Wookie up the inside of turn 4. Seeing quite a few overtakes here tonight. Harold putting Richie under big pressure now as well. Wookie showing great pace here tonight. Now Richie will have DRS to attack. Oh, Schwer picks up a 3 seconds as well. So does Mechanicals. Chip sets a fastest lap in the 15.9. Nerf pack now with time penalties is starting to creep in. Front 3 now just separated by 0.4 of a second. Richie tries up the inside of Wookie into turn 3. Just about stays behind, but now he's got Harold up his inside. We've seen a few overtakes here. Are we going to see another one? Trying to do 3 overtakes in one. Richie goes up the inside but does go deep. That allows Wookie to take the inside line back out of the corner, and as they come into the double left-handers, Wookie is just in front. Just going to put Harold in a good position now, as Richie will be compromised through these couple of corners. Wookie needs to hold on now with DRS behind. Down the next one for a time penalty. Mechanical leaves the session. Is that a connection issue for Mechanical? Send him another one just in case. No, I can't say in your Odeon. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Mechanical. That. Got Wookie still out in front. Richie, but he's going to try up the inside. He's got Harold just behind as well. We're going to go 3 wide nearly. Now Richie does make that place count. Is Harold going to benefit from Wookie? Now he is. He's up into P2 side by side. Wookie's fighting this one, does concede the place. Just about approaching half race distance now. Let's have a look at positions gained and lost. Not too many. Biggest gainer is Nerf Park, up 7 positions. Biggest loser is 45. He's down 5 after starting on pole. Now we've got Harold and Richie this time battling it out for the lead. Wookie will be sat behind watching this unfold. Going to try and capitalise on Harold's bit of a worse line going into the corners. Does make that that overtake stick up into P2 now is Wookie. Harold's still on the gearbox now, not wanting to concede that place. He's going to have DRS to try and get that position back now. He also has DRS to try and attack Richie. Kane's the next one to get a time penalty. Jump on board with CDR. He's got Cleeman Berkey for company. No, it's not. He has Work. We're going to try around the outside of Work. Nice angle for the overtake from Luke there. Work can't really do much about that. Drops down to P6. That takes Luke back to where he started in P5. Everyone on the softs other than Kane, who's gone for the super softs. Harold is that bit closer to Wookie, up in P3. Let's see if he can manufacture some sort of an overtake. Far behind, unfortunately, on that lap. Whereas CDR Luke still battling out for P5. We're not letting that place go without a fight. Had a cleaner exit out of that corner, just reeled Luke in slightly, but no overtaking opportunity as of yet. It's going to wait a couple more corners for that. he going to try anything up into turn 1? Harold in front, trying to make a move. That is Whirlpool to the inside, does make the move on Luke. Back up into P5 now. Is Harold going to try? We've got Luke coming back at Whir now. He does take the position back. Got to stay on board with this. As we go down into turn 4. Whirlpool to the inside very early. Got Luke around the outside, trying to fight that back. You see him in his mirror, but that is Whir's position now. Wookie picks up the time penalty going through the Ethels. That is unfortunate for Wookie now. He's in a great position. Chip in P4, not a bad race up to now from Chip. Harold P3. Let's jump on board with Nerf Pack. Nerf Mechanical is back in the race now. Dan at the front of this little battle going on with Nerf Pack and Mechanical. Fake Scouser, there's only 5 drivers on the grid without penalties at the moment. It is a track 4. Track limits though. Mechanical gaining in the braking zone on Nerf Pack. Harold only 3 tenths behind, looking out for P2. He's going to try. Is he going to try and make any sort of a move? Another penalty. Let's have a look at these penalties now. Wookie on 3, Chip on 3, Whir's on 3. Then we start with Max has got 6, No Fandangle's got 9, Nerf Pack's got 3, Mechanical's on 3, Lutman on 6, Kane's on 9, Chaos on 3, and Scouser on 3. That will definitely jumble the order up at the end. As Nerf Pack makes the move on No Fandangle, as Dan is missing his left hand front end plate there. That's going to put him at a big disadvantage in this sector of the track. He's got Mechanical looking up his inside now. See if Mechanical, as that is Dan with another time penalty. 12 seconds now for Dan. There we have Rick and Fate Scouser making 2 stops. That's why they're at the back. Dan just able to keep Mechanical at bay now. So we go on board with the front runners. Harold is just 3 attempts behind Wookie now, just a bit too far back for a move. These 3 got a 4.2 second gap to Chip behind now. At the moment, Wookie's time penalty will only cost him the one position to Harold, so still up there with a fight. Mechanical still unable to make any inroads on Dan. Still around half a second back. Front wing isn't costing Dan too much at the moment. He's gaining on Chip. Wookie's pulled Richie in as well by a couple of attempts. He's only just about 4 attempts behind. Luke and Chip is the closest battle at the moment. 3 laps to go. Front runners just now start lap 18 of 20. Dan with another 3 seconds any more of them and you'll be getting disqualified, lad. Front 3 just stretching the legs now out at the front, just dropping Chip by another 1.5 seconds, as that is Luke making the move on Chip now. Wookie could have done with Luke being stuck behind Chip for a couple more laps. He's got 2.5 laps now to try and gain a couple of seconds. As Chip goes round the outside of Luke, goes wide, tries a little switch back, doesn't make it pull off though. Nice little battle by these two in the latter stages of the race. On lap 19 of 20 now. Luke's lost to second with this battle with Chip. He's doing Wookie a solid there. Time penalty, Dan into the pits. Is that a retirement for Dan as he is reserving? Wookie and Richie squabbling for position. Wookie took the lead momentarily there, but Richie's got it back. Harold's just gaining in now on these two. Got couple more DRS points. This is Harold. He is trying to look at Wookie to try and take P2 now. He is going to inherit it anyway with the time penalty, but he has not been as close as this in a good few laps. As I say, that Harold does now pick up a time penalty, so that just makes Wookie that little bit more easily for P2, as the guy behind him is also with the time penalty. Now these two are racing for position. Richie knows he's got a bit of a buffer now. Nerf pack next to pick up another time penalty. These three battling it out all race. Started off in rain. It's gone quite bright now. It's definitely bright for Richie. As we start sector 2 of the final lap. We've got Fate Scouts from Nerf pack off. Going into turn 3. Last couple of corners now for the front runners. Richie out in front still. One of the only ones without any time penalties. Round the final corner comes Richie to take the checkered flag, takes the final race win of the season. Wookie takes that P2 spot. Harold also picking up that late time penalty, takes P3. Luke, after a great battle with Chip, takes P4. Chip takes P5, drops him down to P6 with the time penalty though, so that promotes wee man Berkey. That takes P7. Max Mario P8. Climbing to P11, and we wanted a better weekend than that for his final one. Chaos coming in at the back with no Fandangle and Luckman. So there we have it. Season 16 all wrapped up. That 15, never mind. Season 15 all done in the F2. Final race win goes to Richie. Let's get these final results for you. There we have it. Richie P1. Wookie does take that P2 after a great battle with Harold and Richie for the lead. Harold takes P3. Wookie just the double podium sitter of the night. At the back with 18 seconds worth of penalties was King Luckman, and just in front of him was no Fandangle with 18 and 15 seconds worth of penalties. Nice drive from Weeman Berkey, putting himself up into P4. CDR Luke as well. Chip Hazard P6 where he started. Not a bad weekend for Chip. Will be disappointed with a P7 from Paul. Just behind him is Max. Mechanical and Nerf Pack rounds out the top 10. Let's get these guys in. So invite these boys now.
F2 interviews.
F2 interviews, lad.
Let's do it.
How are we?
All good, bro. You alright?
Yeah, not bad, you?
Yeah, that was actually a surprisingly good race.
Mate, absolute blinder in the sprint.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
That was nice, that chip up there as well for half of it.
Yeah, it's just a shame he got his penalties because, yeah, he had the pace tonight, definitely.
Oh, I know Richie doesn't normally do interviews. I'm not sure about Harold, so it might just be you, lad.
How was it watching it?
Oh, Joe, what, mate? It was top. The rain at the end made it interesting in the sprint. It was only you, Chip. Was it Harold and somebody
Luke.
else? I'm surprised that Luke pitted under that in
Yeah,
that. Weren't expecting that.
I just thought I'd stick it out and then I saw Luke come out of the pits 26 seconds behind me. I was just like, yeah, just bring it home, sort of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it gave you a 2 second gap to P2. I can't remember who it was now, but yeah, it took the
Max.
pressure off you. That yeah, it was Max, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How do you reckon the feature race went, lad?
Yeah, good. The 3 second penalty though, that kind of shook me up a little bit because I went all straight without a warning, and then they come flying at me in the race. And then when I saw Harold get one, I was like, okay, just keep it here. But it was good that me, Harold, and Alua had the DRS trade because we managed to pull out an 8 second gap. So
Yeah, after it was Chip battling with Luke for P4 and 5.
yeah,
So once Luke got past Chip, I was thinking, oh, is he going to try and catch that 3 seconds to get the podium? Like, but Chip fought him back with that one, and they dropped a couple of seconds. To be fair,
that's the problem with Austria. Once you're, it's very hard to get rid of the DRS.
seeing quite a few overtakes at turn 4. That looked like quite a fun corner in them cars.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. The thing with these cars on this track, you got to brake early because these cars just ain't got the stopping power.
No, seeing a few little taps coming through the final couple of corners with that. Just
Oh yeah,
people
I
misjudging.
gave Luke a couple love taps on the sprint.
Right, we'll wrap it up, lad. Last one of the season, all boxed off.
Yeah, we're all ready for Sunday now.
Let's have it, lad.
Let's end it on a good one. It's been a nice one, bro.
Yeah, always, bro. Nice one to catch you in here for a change.
Yeah, man. It's a change of scenery.
It is. Yeah, right. I'll speak to you on Sunday, mate.
Yeah, catch
You
you soon,
enjoy the
bro.
rest of your week, bro.
You too, mate. Take care.
Bye bye. So, there we have it. Season 15 of the F2 all wrapped up. So, check-in for season 16 is looking a bit dry at the moment. We've got just over half a grid. So if anyone knows anyone that would want to try and, take part in the F2 next season, get them in contact with Dan or any of the admin. I'm sure we can get something sorted. However, if we don't fill the grid and we're not back, it's been a pleasure. I'm Jimmy, and hopefully I will speak to you again soon. Peace out, boys.